Thank you, Dean Fisher, for your extremely kind and generous remarks. And good luck as you settle into your stewardship of this great institution. Your background is very impressive, and there's no doubt that the search committee did spectacularly well in finding the right leader to build on the enormous progress this law school has made. Susan Herbst is on a trip to Israel and could not be here, and expressed her regrets. She's our conference's vice chair and has been a valued advisor and great support as we have reinvented the American Athletic Conference. I want to recognize and thank Matt Gordon and Ingrid Mahl and the members of the Law School Alumni Association. I'm deeply honored and humbled by this award. I also want to recognize my family, my wife Sharon, who practiced law for many years in Hartford and Stamford, and my sons Matthew and Brett, to thank them for their love and support, which is the foundation of all and means everything to me. I, as a graduate, am proud of what this law school has accomplished over its history, but especially over the past few decades. I've visited the beautiful campus, quite an upgrade from the old building on Asylum Avenue, as many of you know. The law school has dynamic leadership, an enormously talented and diverse student body, and a distinguished faculty. The UConn Law School graduates have distinguished themselves in the practice of law and in many other fields. From its beginnings as a night school devoted to providing a legal education for employees of Hartford-based insurance companies and other local industries, to its current mission of attracting an outstanding national and international student body with a rich and diverse curriculum, the law school has provided opportunities for its students and has served the legal and larger community. I am also proud that the 6 women in the first class of 1921 reflected an enduring commitment to gender equity. I myself am an example of the opportunities that this law school has provided to so many students over the years. Because of the law school, I was able originally to attend the innovative night division and work during the day. The division contained a remarkable mix of students, accomplished men and women from all walks of life, intellectually curious, hardworking, and highly motivated. Among my class were an airline pilot, several teachers and engineers, and many professionals. Because of the law school, I was able to enjoy a rewarding one-year internship in the Hartford office of the United States Attorney, where I worked with the Northeast Organized Crime Task Force. Incidentally, part of my job was reading court-authorized wiretaps, and I can tell you, I think with some confidence, that most of those fellows don't talk as articulately as they do in the Godfather movies. I also worked for federal magistrate Tom Smith, who was then a United States attorney, and he's a distinguished graduate of the law school. I was also able to work summers and part-time during the year at the Hartford Corporation Counsel's office with outstanding people such as Dick Shettle and the late legendary Alexander Goldfarb. And because of the law school, I've been able to have an interesting and rewarding career. I enjoyed my relatively brief time in Hartford as a lawyer. My work in television media began in the legal department of ESPN, a company not much removed from a startup in the early to mid-'80s. And owing to my sound legal education, I've always had confidence when negotiating deals, when working on complicated contracts, when dealing with the myriad details of the television business, and now in the collegiate sports landscape. The orderly thinking and approach to problem solving that one learns in law school is invaluable. And because of the law school, I've been able to make lifelong friendships with fellow students and professors. For example, Professor Luke Herlancic, who's here tonight, and who shares my love of sports and has contributed valuable scholarship to the field of sports law, was a mentor and has remained a friend. I recall dedicated professors such as Howard Sachs, Len Orland, and Avi Seufer. Dean Fisher told me that Avi is the dean of the University of Hawaii Law School, so he's obviously done very well. But most important by far, I met my wife at the law school, and we celebrated our 35th wedding anniversary a week ago. So I owe this school, obviously, a great debt of gratitude. And I also look around and see old friends such as Chris Droney and John Mallon and Ernie Maddie and others who have come here, and I'm very pleased to be able to renew those friendships. Before closing, and I know I'm on the clock to some extent, I want to comment briefly on some issues facing college athletics, issues facing UConn as a member of our conference. Realignment of schools from conference to conference has had a profound and often unedifying impact on college sports. We all know that. It's affected UConn acutely. There are reasons for it, which I am not going to get into tonight. But the American Athletic Conference is now established as a strong and dynamic league with a bright future. Some pundits have us the second strongest basketball conference in the entire country behind the ACC. We have 3 teams in the top 25. And we have Gino, of course, and the UConn women leading the way for our women's basketball. We have very good football. UConn has struggled, we all know that, but they will get better, and our football league is going to be better, I believe, than the old Big East football league down the road, because I think it's more diverse and we have teams from a lot of football hotbeds that we didn't have before. This is a new beginning. It's exciting. We've got a blank canvas. We're painting a new history, and UConn will be a big part of that. Now, I know many in this room care deeply about college athletics. We face large issues. We're at a crossroads. There is much talk these days about a new economic model in college sports, even about paying players. Although I and my conference presidents and athletic directors support enhanced benefits, including possibly the full cost of attendance stipend for our student athletes, we are adamantly opposed to paying players. We are not going to establish an employer-employee relationship. The coach-student-athlete relationship is not and never has been an employer-employee relationship. That is not what college sports are all about. The relationship of the student-athletes to the schools is a compact. It is a compact that has developed over a century and has been very successful. Our student-athletes receive a valuable scholarship. They leave school without the burden of loans. They are offered opportunities to gain an education that will serve them well for the rest of their lives. They're admitted to these outstanding universities. They receive academic support and nutritional and other support. They build friendships and lifelong contacts. They bond with their communities. They compete nationally. They gain enormous advantages and benefits. Condoleezza Rice, who is going to be a member of the College Football Selection Committee, and I was a very big proponent of having Condoleezza Rice on this committee. I think she will be absolutely tremendous. The BCS commissioners select these members of the committee, and she talks about the value of a college education, and she's been very involved with the student athletes at Stanford. College football and basketball revenues also support countless other student athletes in sports that generate little or no revenue, and these athletes would not have these opportunities without these other sports. Yes, the amateur model is strained. There are unprecedented revenues and resources now in the collegiate system. You've all read about the large TV deals that conferences have been doing. But the model can be reworked and be improved, and it can continue to strive. It has to work, and UConn and other schools, as well as our and other communities across the country where collegiate sports have always been part of the cultural and social fabric, will be the better for it. Again, I want to thank you for this honor. I'm extremely grateful. I hardly recognize the person that Dean Fisher was describing, but thank you again for your very generous remarks. I applaud all that you do to support the law school, to educate future leaders, and I wish you one and all a productive and successful year and continued growth and good fortune for this great law school. Thank you.